Be inspired. Be blessed. Subscribe to The Wind Hover. For inquiries, call the Philippine Jesuit Aid Association at telephone numbers 426-6001, locals 4890 or 4892. Once again, Philippine Jesuit Aid Association, telephone numbers 426-6001, locals 4890 or 4892. To listen to music that uplifts the soul, follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. Our music is also available on iTunes and Deezer.
To listen to music that uplifts the soul, follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. Our music is also available on iTunes and Deezer.
Radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, katipunan, radyo, katipunan, radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, katipunan. Voice of the Eagle kami, di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, katipunero sugo. Todo sa kayod, punong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing giting at tigil.
In 3, 2, and what's poppin'? And welcome to Popcorn with Cholo, Sediaren, your stop for all things pop, where we talk about all things pop culture from here in the Philippines to the rest of the globe. And this week we are back again to the workroom for our season 13 RuPaul's Drag Race recap. Let's all welcome our co-hosts for the week. Let's welcome back Jeremiah. Hello, hello, hello. Dana is back as well.
Hello.
Nikki is here as well.
Hello.
And she's beautiful. She's a model. Luisa. We always have to say that. Hey, Luisa. And of course, we have a new addition to the group. Therese is here. Welcome to the show. It's her first time. I don't know why we only invited her now, but she started last year lang, right?
Yeah.
Watching.
Better late than never.
Before recording, I was like, hey, you want to join? And he's here. So, kamusta guys? How's that quote-unquote reunion for you guys?
Reunion.
This is ever since parang we started doing these in season 11, this is the first time that we're doing the recap before the finale. So, we'll be discussing who we think we want to win at the end of this. But how was the season? Because this feels like what is probably the longest season ever for me. How about you guys?
I was about
What are
to
your
say,
thoughts?
congrats everyone, we made it to the finish line
Indeed.
finally.
For me, it was long, but then now that it's ending, it's like, oh, it's done. Parang, where did the season go? Like, it's done.
That's true. Same.
Diba?
When I was watching it, I was like, when is this gonna end? It's now
Exactly.
finally ending.
Yeah, it's kind of weird for me because we've had this weekly watch party and to have that end of this week, parang, huh? Tapos na.
Yeah. It's been so
Diba?
sudden.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
parang the first time we ever watched together every week, right?
Yeah.
For ever
Yes.
since we started like having a group about Drag Race, super funnies. It's the first time we ever actually watched Party It every week to watch it. But yeah, I would agree with everyone. It just kind of feels like, is it pandemic burnout? Just that the fact that it feels longer than it should be. But actually, it's the first 16 episode season since season 3. So I feel like that's also a factor. Na we're kind of used to a bit shorter seasons with 14 episodes or 13 episodes.
This season alone, there were 5 episodes with no elimination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like half of season.
Season or like 5 episodes without eliminations, and that's really at the beginning of the show. What did you guys think of that like format? Na this is like the first episode was like that lip sync extravaganza episode where they all just lip synced against each other, especially, and then what they did last season, season 12, and earlier in like season 6, na it's divided into 2 groups. What did you guys think of that format?
I actually like this seasons because for one, we all know that they were quarantined. They had a whole documentary about it. So I think the non-elimination really gave them a chance to para masulit yung whole stay nila for however much that was worth. And I think the lip sync idea was good, especially since all of the songs were really fun. Like I remember we were all gagging just watching each lip sync.
But
Like all of the queens to show their stuff na right at the start.
I was worried nga on the first episode because all of the choices were so good. So I was like, how are they gonna... Did they just throw away their lip sync budget first episode pa lang? Because we had Call Me Maybe, Janet Jackson,
Pussycat Dolls.
Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah, that was actually good. Like, it's a good parang addition to the show or parang a nice twist. But then sometimes, parang I think na it's tiring kasi it's sunod-sunod
Yeah.
lips. Parang you're not really used to it. But then they really put on a performance. So, at least it's still entertaining.
Yeah. I get that it's supposed to like give more time for the queens to, so that the audience gets to know the queens a little bit more. But I wouldn't mind then going back to the old format. I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah, it was nice. Like I wouldn't if they let go of it next season, it would be fine with me. But good thing that the songs is during the first episode were really good. Like I remember the first songs that was Call Me Maybe, diba? I was like, oh my gosh,
Wow.
I love it. So yeah, but then I agree, it did get a bit tiring, but whether they keep it or not, I wouldn't mind. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely like it gets to show you the queens all lip syncing, because when you just go on a regular season and not everyone gets a chance to lip sync, sometimes you won't even see queens lip syncing until the finale, right?
Yeah.
Like Sasha Velour never got to lip sync in the
Violet.
season. Violet, yeah. She got mixed, but this season was the one who did not.
Yeah, just the first
Ako.
episode siya nag lip sync.
Yeah.
Then huli
So,
na.
yeah, I mean, that's a nice way to get to know them. But I agree with Nikki nga na parang it kind of gets repetitive at a point na medyo nakakasawa and it's not as thrilling since you're not invested in any of them yet. But
Yeah.
like I did, for example, that episode in All Stars 4 where they did Lollapalooza was one of my favorite episodes ever. That was a really good like lip sync challenge, I would say.
Also, parang watching it and not knowing what's going to happen. Like, you're watching it as it airs, parang you think okay, like one episode lang sila and then done. Like, is that it? So parang it's an emotional moment for the queens.
Sad.
A lot of emotional manipulation occurred in this.
Parang niloko lang sila ganun at some point.
Pati tayo.
But yun, I mean, through that pork chop element and like heading towards the 2 episodes that were congratulations and phenomenon, those were really, I feel like, strong episodes and strong starting
Yeah.
points.
Agree.
So yun, I guess, go Jeremiah.
I feel like one of the strengths in this season, like with season 12, is RuPaul was able, and the producers were able to assemble a really strong group of queens. Like, I can honestly say, walang filler queen in this cast. Everyone had something to contribute.
Definitely, yeah. And coming from a really strong season 12, right? Although I heard from somewhere in the internet or some people, kasi in this group, right, we all felt really strong about season 12. But
Yeah.
apparently some people didn't like it at all because of how friendly they were or something like that. But I mean,
Okay.
Interesting take.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I didn't want RuPaul's best friend race.
the literal RuPaul's best friends race. But now I guess let's talk about the queens of the season and our favorite moments. Of course, we had 13 queens this time around with Kamora Hall, Joey J, Tamisha Iman, Lalari, Elliot with two T's, Denali, Tina Burner, Utica Queen, Olivia Lux, and our top 4, Candy Muse, Rose, Gottmik, and Simone Simoni. So, among all these, ano yung mga who are favorites for the season? I feel like Therese has a lot of strong feelings on this.
Okay, so obviously, I really love Denali. Like, I don't know. As in, I remember following her on Instagram because I liked her, just how she looked, and not realizing na contestant pala siya this season. So I was really rooting for her, and I just really loved her. I really thought she was gonna make it to the top 4 because she's a competitive skater. So I don't know, parang I just thought na she had the grit to make it to I think she still does. So I was really rooting for her. But I also liked Tamisha. Like, just her fashion was really good. And Simone, I don't know, parang I was just telling Nikki earlier, parang sobrang effortless niya this season. Like, she's just so good. But it's like, no effort put into it. She's just really amazing as she is. And yeah, those are my top 3.
Definitely, like Denali, I feel like was everyone's pambato in the beginning. Like, I wouldn't not see any tweets saying that they didn't like Denali. And I feel like she did have a strong edge nga, also being a skater. And definitely, I guess, yeah, I mean, it's just really sad what happened. And is it time to open up that conversation about Denali being robbed?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect time.
Yeah, I mean, ayun, definitely that episode. What can you guys say about Olivia Lux? Because we all have feelings about her.
From the start, I definitely like the way Carson would call her, like really like a showstopper, radiant, very like she has that it factor. Very much agree with that. Like her stage presence is really good in the disco challenge, even in the winner's circle song. I forgot. Congratulations there. Loser circle, but she's definitely a performer. And what surprises me most about her is that she's been doing drag for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Am I correct? to have that, to have that like ability in just one like a year and a half. That's kudos to her. Like kudos to her. But as it went along, I definitely didn't see her, winning. They're making it to the finale. But I have to acknowledge her potential as
Yeah,
a
same.
drag queen. More to come for her, definitely. But was she deserving to be, top four? No, I don't. I don't think
Was
that.
she deserving to have been kept by RuPaul versus Denali in that moment, that episode?
Good question.
Because like I do agree, like seeing the smile of Olivia Lux just makes you feel like good in a sense. Like it's just like good vibes. But like when it comes to like the challenges, I wasn't like completely impressed or like parang amazed by what she did. Although she has talent for sure. But like yun na nga, at parang by the end of the season, it just became like a repetitive thing or a shtick na parang pabebe ewan. Na parang
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Except for the,
delicious pabebe diva.
The
except
super
for the disco challenge, which was, I think, one of the challenges where Olivia really shined. But I think, like, also, a lot of it had to do with her wig, which was a really good wig, and it moved a lot when she was dancing. But she was really great in the disco challenge and the mime.
Yeah, that was a good one, the mime, actually.
Yeah.
That's my favorite of hers. But I agree, like, but you wouldn't really think that she's only been doing drag for a year and a half. I mean, but because she's good. I mean, she ended up on the show like only after a year and a half of doing drag. But like what the queen said, I think she still doesn't know who she is yet, like completely as a drag queen, which I think is going to improve. I mean, after the show, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, but like so, she's good. But I also didn't see her moving on to the finale.
There's
Nikki,
definitely like a lot to be polished kay Olivia Lux.
Yeah, but
Vers-
it's already a good base.
yeah, I'm just comparing her to like Denali, for example, or even Valentina, who was really a baby when she started in season 9, right? Parang I comparing those like timelines, parang it's not like as impressive lang at this point. And I'm sure she will be a better queen pa in the next if she does go on All Stars. But Denali, I'm just really sad.
I
Yeah.
think, like, the biggest fatal flaw, kumbaga, of Olivia Lux is, as compared to, like, the queens you mentioned, Cholo, like, Valentina Denali, I feel like Olivia doesn't have a clear sense of what kind of queen she wants to be yet.
Uh-huh.
It's all reading, and this isn't meant to be a put down of her. It all reads to be like generic, smiley queen. So she doesn't know what she's supposed to be yet. And I feel like Valentina went through the same thing in season 9. It was only after in All Stars when she fully embraced the telenovela.
Scandalo.
Yeah, that whole crazy diva persona. Na fans, I feel, really
French
grasped.
vanilla fantasy.
Yeah.
Actually, I liked Olivia in like the first 2 episodes, like in Congratulations when she was talking to Gottmik about like her past and stuff. I was like, okay, she's very likable, very Miss Congeniality material. But I don't know, parang at some point, parang sobrang she just became too pabebe at some point. So when Tina Brenner would call her out, I'd be like, okay, yes. But I also watched Pit Stop like after the episode, and see Trixie, she's such a huge Olivia fan, and I'm like, why? But yeah, I think what Jeremiah and Nikki said about her not knowing what kind of queen she is, and she needed that for the makeover episode. So
Yeah.
sadly, Denali was like the one who suffered from it because she doesn't have a clear brand yet or a clear identity. So, and that's what the judges were saying, na parang, oh, we don't see Olivia in this. Sadly, Denali had to go home because of that.
To be fair, also in that challenge, then Denali's makeover of Olivia looked horrible.
True. But
Yeah.
Rose,
yeah, true. Tina Burner should have been in the bottom.
That
If
was
it
shady.
wasn't like a pairing at the bottom of yung which pair did worse compared to the others, maybe, yeah. But speaking of Tina Burner, I guess let's talk about Tina Burner as well. Like, I was expecting a bit more because she was like kind of hyped up in the beginning, and then she just became like that repetitive, like um red, yellow, and orange queen, right?
I hate to admit this. It's so irrational, but I feel like one of the reasons why I didn't warm up as much to her, and it's not Tina's fault at all, is because she reminded me a lot of Sherry Pie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
agree. And
That's
she
so
like
fun.
released a statement about it. Like,
Really?
yeah, parang
Oh.
she acknowledged na there are a lot of people saying that she reminded them of Sherry Pie, and she said parang she'd rather get compared to like Ronald McDonald or
God.
something. So yeah, but then when she started calling Olivia out, I started to warm up to her. So yeah, but then agree. Parang I expect so much from her, but then
Maybe it's also because
yeah.
Tina Burner was cast in this season with this crop of queens and she didn't really get to stand out after seeing yun nga, Sherry Pie and Nina West, who are kind of similar in terms of style. Parang
No way.
medyo it's not the perfect timing for Tina Burner, I think, in this season.
My thing with Tina is she was very tell but don't show. She's like, I'm a great New York queen. But we never saw it in the challenges. Her standing out. So in the Rusical, she was in the bottom.
Yeah. I think because I get what she says na she's a great New York queen. If you look at one outfit or one challenge, but if you look at it as a whole, like for a whole season, it's not there. Like, because it's all the same. But definitely, like, if you see her, like, at one show for, like, one night, you get to understand why she thinks that way. But definitely not parang for Drag Race, that mentality.
Mm-mm.
And she put
Very regional to
she
copy
put
from
herself,
the UK.
I feel like she put herself in the box with the orange, red, and yellow motif.
It's her brand.
Which wasn't even good. It wasn't even good.
Yeah.
Why did you
I
do
get I get the whole branding thing and how it comes up with fire, but like even in season 7, Trixie didn't start wearing only pink until she became Trixie Mattel. She became established. So like she really boxed herself in.
Yeah, and parang, parang
Yeah. And I
coming
think the thing,
go ahead.
ay, sorry, nakamute ba ako? Ay, hindi.
Hindi.
Okay. I think the thing about Drag Race, like the best queens are the ones who learn how to evolve and listen to the critiques. Like, okay lang din. The judges don't make the best critiques all the time, but it's always a pleasure to watch the ones who listen and just try to change it up. Especially for queens like that na they have such a branding, mga Tamisha Iman style, na legends of wherever they're from. So it was just sad maybe with Tina Burner na she was so boxed in nga, as Jeremiah said, compared to queens who did listen or branched out like Gottmik or even Simone, mga ganon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Very
it's coming into it. Of course, we're just like an audience watching, but parang having seen many seasons before, you'd know na although you have a branding, they will keep on looking for something different at least at 1 or 2 points in the competition. Na you can't just keep on showing that. And like by the time she did show some sort of difference, it was kind of too late for her at that point.
Yeah. actually thinking the same sa last episode. Because she wasn't wearing any red at all. Diba? And it's like, wow. She can do it pala when she do it during the season during her stay there when it actually mattered.
Yeah. And for example, like you have this season si Joey J, one of our faves who got eliminated early. Diba her shtick is like not having a wig, but she knew that Michelle would be looking at her to change it up every so often, and she did try naman to do that. So it's kind of like that, but I don't know. Tina didn't really get to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about Joey J? And also Kamora Hall? Because I have stuff to say.
Yes, I love Kamora.
Go.
Tried her best. There's this really funny compilation on YouTube of Kamora trying her best during Phenomenon. It's just zoomed in on her, and she really did. She tried.
Yeah. But I mean, she really looks good. As in, I think if she stayed longer, she would have been a threat. Like, she would have
Runway
made it until like mga middle episodes or maybe even the last few episodes.
Yeah, if you do
Yeah,
see her like when she posts her Instagram, yung mga outfits she was supposed to wear, they all look so amazing, and it's sad that we didn't get to see that on the runway.
And like, general disclaimer with all of our Drag Race recap episodes, just because a queen didn't do well in Drag Race doesn't mean that that queen doesn't do well in drag.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
I feel like Kamora would be an amazing pageant queen. I think she is. Like, didn't she win titles or something? Like, the moment she stepped out, and she was such a label whore. When it came to like, come out in Bob Mackie, Pierre Mugler, and then
Carson being so surprised.
yeah,
That it was a vintage Mackie.
Yeah, that's very true, Jeremiah. Because even I recall, like Trixie said this, like that was her like intro to All Stars 3. She was like, I feel like I've been such an all star out of Drag Race, but her performance in season 7 was,
And
Yeah.
All
leaves
Stars
a lot
3
of room,
joke.
much room to be desired. So yeah,
she's a great example.
Drag Race is just a competition. No way, like your place, like even if you finish last in Kamora's case, it does not indicate like how good of a drag queen you are. Truth be told, like you don't have to win to be successful. There are so many like drag queens now. Some of my favorites, you don't have to win, to make it out there. So I'm rooting for you, Kamora. to win.
We're rooting for her.
I'm rooting for you.
You're so right. Like, I feel like if ever the people who benefit the most placement-wise are those who place like second, third, fourth, mga Trinity Taylor, because like they get to go to All Stars and they get to go on tours. They apparently get more of the name recognition.
Yeah.
When you think about the winners, like Jinx Monsoon, for instance, you never really heard of much of her as compared to like Detox Alaska, Roxy Andrews.
It's very American Idol syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get $100,000. So
True. No offset naman.
For a time of your life. But yeah, parang ano ba? Yun nga, I guess it's what you make out of the experience, like, and how you really like milk the brand and milk the recognition from the show. But I hope we do get to see more of Kamora.
And Kamora was really funny, huh? Like, for the skit, she came in dressed as a tree, like with a green screen, and she was wearing boots and
the cone.
she was cinched in.
I like her thought process there, and she's gonna be a sexy tree.
But then
It made sense. It made sense.
Like, she's so
Funny.
funny without trying. And like, I saw also that Tamisha actually adopted Kamora.
Really?
Yeah, like she's now technically an Imon, but then she's still also part of the House of Hall with her sister Jada. But Tamisha will be training her to compete in pageants.
Wow.
Bagay.
Very, very bagay, and like I'm happy for her. I also wish that she breaks up with her boyfriend who is ashamed of her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really sad to hear because she
Yeah.
looked so amazing and she seemed like a great person also aside from the looks na parang that really got to her like how she did in the competition, no?
Honestly, I know they haven't crowned the Miss Congeniality yet. They should just give it to Komora. At this
Really?
Who else
But
would
I
it
don't think she had enough time to
point. True
be
naman.
congenial.
It's congeniality.
Funny.
think who would it be? Who are
Joey
you?
J.
OJ.
Oh, Jay.
Are we talking
Straight
about
up the
OJ
scene.
now?
Yes, let's go. Joey
Did
J.
we mention that he's gay?
What?
Joey J is gay.
What?
Okay,
So what did you want to say about Joey J?
I'm
Well,
gonna-
I kind of knew that Joey J wasn't gonna last that long compared to everyone else, but like I kind of wanted him on for like because he had such a personality also, and he was so into being the femme queen. And let's face it, he's just really good looking that you want to watch him the whole season. um, yeah,
I love the no wig. Super ganda. Especially during that one challenge at the fashion home.
Yeah.
Super nice. As in, super powerful look actually.
and it's like a different type of like femininity to have short hair, which isn't really popular in the drag race that we've seen so far. So that was a nice addition to it for the times he appeared. He
I'm
appeared.
gonna have to disagree. I did not like the short. I like it in the fashion shows Nikki pointed out because it was striking. But then when it becomes a matter of doing it in challenges, I hate the how I sound like Michelle, but it really it ruins the illusion. Now you're trying to pass off as a woman, and I know that's not the point of the drag, but she just didn't look finished in some looks. It worked really well for the runway, but in other times it came across na naubusan siya ng time.
Mm, you have a point. But at the end of it, ang pogi pa rin ni Joey J.
And she's also very pretty.
Yeah, in the previous episode, sobrang laka ng difference nung may wig siya. Like, and then the without. I mean, it's like two different people.
That's true.
Almost didn't recognize.
And that's another thing. Like, what else do we know Joey J for besides being pogi?
Well, I mean,
Gay.
Well, I guess we weren't able to see enough of Joey J.
Yeah.
She was really funny. Like the poison ivy. No, it's an ivy bag.
Naglaban talaga niya yung Ivy bag.
And even until the reunion, di niya
Yeah,
na-gets. So
yeah.
parang,
Yeah.
Funny.
And the
Sobrang funny
whole,
professionals.
sobrang funny when she met Denali for the first time, and Denali was so shocked with the chicken feathers.
Cute.
Denali, the drag snob, came out, and she was like, "She came out in chicken feathers."
sino pa gusto niyo pag-usapan na queens you think we want to talk about that stood out? What do you guys think about Utica?
Ooh.
Ooh. Honestly,
Going there?
Are we going there?
There, let's go there.
my top three kasi are Gottmik, Simone, and then Utica. I mean, since the beginning, like since lumabas yung promos, it was them. Because I always think, like, who is the future of Drag Race out of all of these people? And they look the most future, most different. But Utica is, like, she's very creative.
Yeah.
But then there are some things that you have to kind of like polish with that creativity. But not all creative ideas work the way you want them to. And I think it showed in some of the challenges.
My main frustration with Utica is she refused to listen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
she was very stubborn.
Yes.
It was very, they don't understand my vision. And so that's what they're there for, to guide you.
Yeah. I mean, that's a problem with some creative people that they prioritize their creativity over improving or parang listening to critique, which is, I think, pretty evident with Utica.
It's funny because every time Utica, like, generally, her effect, she comes across as being a nice queen, but every time she tries to be funny,
It's
she's
just
just so mean. Like, even her
Oh.
Bob Ross was so mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
The vibe
I
was so off.
The roast.
The rose.
The roast, my gosh.
My God.
I
feel like
was muted
Utica
during the
has a capacity for humor. She just doesn't know it yet. She was really funny when Ru asked her, "Do you smoke weed?"
Yeah.
If, that was so funny. That was so funny to me. She carried that really well. So I don't know why she ended up like becoming the mean girl, using that type of humor. I don't know where that came. Like literally, where did that come from? Like I did not expect that at all from her.
We were rooting for
And
her.
she loves Jesus.
Yeah. Because of
Everything
that
siya.
moment with Drew.
I
Like,
think
the
she
new
could be
humor.
funny. She could be.
Yeah.
She just has to realize it, I guess.
And
But
her roast jokes were so mean. Like, she told Lonnie Love na, oh, you fat girl. And then she's like, are you triggered? Like, who asks that?
yeah.
But what I like Utica, just not when it's a comedy challenge. What I liked about her was that she wasn't what I expected. Like when I saw her promo, I was like, oh, another odd queen. Like, kasi we just had the Crystal Method and si Evie. I was like, what? Another weird queen. But then she wasn't what I expected. Nga, na, like her looks are pretty good. Like her ball, the sleeping bag. So nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that was so
And
pretty.
yeah, but then like towards the end, like the branding challenge and her snatch game, and of course her roast. It's like, oh, sayang. But I mean, and she was like, if I watch a lot of clips like on Instagram, like she'd help out other queens like Kamora with her nails and things like that.
It
So
was great.
You know, she deserves, honestly, Miss Congeniality.
yeah,
but
I
her
feel like
roast
she's gonna.
Last
ruin
part.
her.
If you just block it out, then pwede. I mean, I remember we were watching and we said, oh, she's so Miss Congeniality material. Or,
Then
you
the
know,
roast
ako, personally, it was my favorite up till that phase in the end. Like, I really felt like
Yeah.
it's going to be top 4. Then
Same.
all those other challenges.
I think
Parang sayang. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think her like the roast, that latter part, that very questionable humor. I don't think she was trying to be mean. Like she
Yeah.
wasn't trying to hurt people. She was trying to be funny, but it was,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
Just didn't know how to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just. But I don't think she intended like I'm gonna hurt all these people. I'm gonna.
I think because her
It's all
comedy is very physical. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and her,
like, wiggle.
you know. So I think she had a hard time using words
Yeah.
to be funny. So I guess that's why.
Yeah, but I don't think she's a
Okay.
mean-spirited person. So
yeah,
I did
her.
get Miss Congeniality. I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
I feel like another thing about Utica is Ru had a very spot-on critique with how she comes out in the runway in these really good looks, like jaw-dropping, honestly. But then she presents it in such a campy way.
Right.
That's not
But
always necessary at that point.
One of my
Right.
favorite Utica looks, besides the amazing a puffy gown that she made was where she came out looking like a French poodle, but it was such a chic look. But then she was mugging it up too much. So like it's something to think about because Utica's built like a model, honestly. And like I think we were able to see that side where she was trying to embody Simone for the partner challenge. It was such a different effect, and I wish that she didn't rely too much on the campy mugging throughout the competition.
Maybe it's really more on like finding the right balance for the creativity for how she presents the camp. And I think that's really what kind of like didn't work for her all season long, was finding the perfect like level to present on the stage and in the challenges. Even even after all the critique, she still went all out instead of like going for the right balance.
Yeah.
And I guess we already mentioned her earlier. Let's talk a bit about Lalari. Um, she had some good looks also, and I really like her as a performer. Although parang she didn't also like, for me, really didn't stand out as much na by the time that she got eliminated. That's my take on Lalari. I think
I love
Jeremiah has
her.
thoughts on her.
I loved her. I wish that she'd get cast on All Stars. She had so much charisma. And I feel like we weren't able to see much from her because she was such a rough queen. But
I loved her confessionals.
yeah, her
She
was
God.
praying.
one of the best.
I mean, no, you're not a bitch. she had some of the best confessionals. She was so funny. She actually reminds me of for Drag Race UK watchers, Tia Coffee, in the sense that she was sobrang wale in the runway. She came out in the worst look we've possibly seen in all seasons of Drag Race. But she had so much charisma in her.
And she won that challenge. I mean that lip sync and
She
that
did,
outfit.
yeah.
In fair, I mean, kung nabuo yung look niya na paper bag, I mean, maybe could work. Maybe. But also, I agree. Like, the funniest confessionals, I think. Super enjoyed it. I think, really an experience. A Lalari experience.
The Laura. She reminds me actually of Monet also.
Yeah.
Sense na
Pagkapunin.
very raw and like walang polish at all. But when it comes to charisma and likability, you've got her. And for the reunion, she had one of the best music videos next to Denali in terms of like production value.
Work.
That was actually like a music video nga.
Yeah.
Yes. But I guess as we move on to our top 4 queens of the season, let's talk about Tamisha Iman, who's
Oh
coming
wait,
for.
sorry. Can we talk about Elliot with two T's because I didn't like her.
She was
I'm
okay.
okay with her.
Yeah.
I
Okay
feel like
with her.
again, hindi
I
siya
feel
bagay sa crop of queens na to, kaya hindi siya nag fit in with the
I feel
cast.
like she's the Eeyore of drag.
Oh my god. The ear.
Like even the way she walks on the runway, it's so sad. Like, and it's like I just feel sad when she comes out. She did have a really great storyline on talking about her major depressive disorder. So I'm glad that she was able to shed light about
It's
that.
very nice, honestly. And I like that she felt like some support in a way on the show, which is really nice. I like the whole put your kid in dance class.
Yeah, that was
And
nice.
in fair, in those challenges, she shined. Like in the fashion, not so much. Like sobrang
No,
big.
no.
The
But
flamingo.
when she was made to
Flamingo.
Which honestly reminded me of Kennedy's look.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
Lesbic.
Yeah.
It's like,
One here.
parang, what is it? And it kind of looks the same. And it's also like, what is this? So, I mean,
Fairness.
she's all right. Like, I don't love her. I don't not like her. She's just Okay.
Lasted a while, huh?
Luisa pointed out na in makeup, she super looks like Pia Wurtzbach and I couldn't stop laughing.
There's angles. Wait. I'll send
Okay, I need to see
later
this.
on. Yeah, after this. But she has those angles. But
Yes.
I think Elliot's a really good dancer. Like her her verse in her verse in,
Congratulations.
I keep forgetting the winner circle. No, congratulations was so good. Her split was so satisfying to watch. I would watch her like dance, but again, like, you know, don't hate her, don't love her, but she can dance. She can
Definitely. She's
perform.
different.
I'll give her that for sure.
Since you're always mentioning, the congratulations phenomenon. Honestly, I don't remember any of the congratulations
Right?
verses except for my name's Simone and I'm here for the throne. Like that's the only thing I remember. But
And got
phenomenon,
Mick was born a girl baby.
yeah, but then like phenomenon,
Phenomenon.
I can
Oh my God.
think of their I remember their verses really well.
In the
So
House of Hall.
yeah,
Oh
and
God.
Siya,
Each
Iman
of
is
them.
coming for you.
To show the girls what I can do.
Yeah.
Phenomenon is so much better, hands down.
Yeah.
And they were the quote-unquote losers. No.
I
And
feel
if you
like
check their Spotify streams, they have more streams than the congratulations group.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, disclaimer that just because a queen doesn't do well in Drag Race doesn't mean that they're not a good queen. So all the best to Elliot with two T's. Although like I hate her name. It's such a bad name.
I don't think that's actually her drag name outside of the show, right?
Ah.
I think it's Elliot something else. Let me check.
What's her name on Instagram?
I will check.
Parang Elliot with two T's is actually worse than Heidi and Closet.
Gosh.
I can't find it, but yeah, parang
Real Elliot Queen.
The real Elliot.
And the Elliot has two teeth. So yeah.
I mean, I don't think there are Elliots with just one T, so that kind of doesn't make
Really?
There are. I think there
Meron
are.
ba?
Yeah. One L also. Like ELIOT. Like TF Elliot.
Lots of girls
What else? Tamisha Iman.
Coming for you.
I love Tamisha Iman. I really do.
And what's so interesting about her is, you know how now all the eliminated queens, they'd post like what their looks would have been for this category. But she's just like, I'ma do me. And she has this whole drag competition now where she's like the judge and the queen and the head.
Ooh.
Yeah, I see it on her Instagram. And her merch, like on a different level. So good for her. Parang, she's just really too seasoned for this season. So she's just doing her.
It was with children this season. Although I got kind of heartbroken. Like, I remember watching that with you guys. And when she got eliminated, we were like, oh, so sad.
Yeah, I feel like if not for her, what do you call that? The bag inside her, she could have excelled even further than where she ended.
Bag. Okay, my lolo has that currently right now. Like, so I know what it looks like, and I know how it affects a person. For her to even like her performance in Phenomenon, just being there this entire competition. Wow, as props to her to be able to show up and drag and to perform, try her best. Like the whole time she was there, at her age, really like
wow, yeah.
Professional, like a true professional.
Yeah.
Like that's
She
why
didn't
I really
tell
love
anyone else,
her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like when we all found out na parang she was hiding that parang she still had the bag and everything. And she just got sick. I was like, this is like the mindset of parang older people who are like super tagal na in whatever industry, like there's no excuse for them to not show up, to not be professional or do their best. And I was like, wow, respect. He's really serious about this. I mean, not to say that you have to sacrifice your health, but then he really wanted to show up.
And like, I honestly love the fan reaction to her because I didn't expect them to embrace Tamisha the way that they did. But because she's such a mother figure talaga eh. It's not, I feel like Drag Race as a show looks for the future of drag. That they always look for what's new and exciting. But Tamisha represents this, a very classic version of drag. So like I was honestly worried about how far she'd go, but like the fan reaction has been amazing. She was so motherly. Except of course with like people like Candy.
And even with that, like the iconic Untucked, even after, bati naman sila, it's like no tea.
True. Like when Tamisha left, she hugged Candy.
Yeah, she was so
And
classy
that was
about it. She was so
that
classy.
was like a really great like editing wise or story wise na the way they led up to that whole final lip sync between Candy and Tamisha. That was just really good reality show right there.
Yeah, and like and her iconic merch right now, the Tamisha Man limited edition sneaker.
There's slides.
Gusto ko nun.
Tamisha. And I think her inclusion in the show made the case for old school drag because when done well,
Yeah.
you can't say anything about it. Like when she came down the runway in that long sleeve gold dress with a big bow, Ru said that this is one of the most beautiful dresses we've ever seen on this runway. And he was right.
But then wasn't she supposed to be in season 12?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but then
couldn't
she got
imagine
tired.
her in season 12. Wild.
Who did they cast instead of Tamisha for season 12?
We'll never
Cherry
know.
pie. Just kidding.
Oh.
Aww.
God.
Filler lang pala siya. Yeah, I guess let's now head to Candy Muse, speaking of her, and the iconic Untucked episode. What did you guys feel about Candy the whole season? Because especially in the beginning of the season, everyone was like kind of anti-Candy-ish. I mean, I would admit that I was one of those people who really felt negatively towards her. Hindi naman sa super negative, but like the vibe. I was talking to Nikki about this yesterday. Na parang I really commend her confidence because nobody else has that much confidence in themselves in this season versus the rest of the cast, and she really like helped her boost her spots and her slot in the top 4. But yeah, which side were you on in that iconic Untucked fight?
For the fight mismo, I'm kind of objective about it because like I saw online the people were like, Candy was trying to avoid the confrontation, but Tamisha kept egging her and following her, which was true naman. But then also the way that Candy blowed up, it wasn't pretty. But I will say that it made for good drama that we look for in every season.
It's something you wish that was on the actual show, not just Untucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after
Even in
season
the
12.
reunion, I was so looking forward to them like discussing it. And they didn't.
It wasn't
Yeah.
a reunion, it was a clip show.
What was that?
A literal recap.
Parang ito nangyari.
Before,
Yeah.
They
like
already
in the
know.
older seasons, they had the recap episodes. I think that's what it felt like. I was like, are they even
Yeah.
talking to RuPaul?
No, Ru was literally
Right?
reading off the teleprompter.
Like, sad.
Anyway, back to Candy. I feel like she's Ru's favorite in the same way that Ru was in love with Vanjie. the very
And gosh.
scrappy, unpolished queen with a lot of charisma and with a big personality. Those are the queens that Ru has a soft spot for. So, and like, I see the charisma. And like, I see why Ru wants her to stay there. But then, there was just some moments in the season where the favoritism was so glaring
Yeah.
and paulit-ulit.
Yeah,
I think
parang, really?
Candy's...
This is what you think?
Sorry, go ahead, Dina.
Yeah, no, yun naman. Go lang.
The double shante for Candy News versus Simone. What did you guys think about that?
Why?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a
Why?
no for me.
I think Candy's definitely a big personality. She's funny. We have like that's something I have to
Really?
admit. She's funny at times. At times. I think she has a good sense of like she knows how to perform, like she knows how to draw an audience in, da da da. But her tracker, like her performance thus far in the competition does not merit like a
A
final.
top four, yeah.
But
Definitely.
is she a force? Like I feel like if we were like watching an actual drag show, she would be like really a delight
Yeah.
on stage, like a powerhouse. Like not denying her that fact, but judge like based on the competition alone, out of the top four right now, she's the one like the one person I don't think belongs there. Like I could think of so many like other contestants who would have who deserve to make it to top four.
That was really Denali's spot.
Yeah,
Back to Denali.
I didn't want to say it.
her lucky verse, her lucky verse was so good. Like
Honestly, sometimes it's the verse I sing in my head.
you just block out Candy's verse completely.
No, but I also like Candy's verse. I mean, but sometimes it's just stuck in my head. For
With
Candy,
that, sorry,
go Jeremiah.
No, go. Like mine's like totally shifting.
Okay, sorry. For Candy, yeah, like, when she went for, I don't know, because I respect my elders. So when she went for Tamisha, I was like, girl. But then, honestly, like, some of her looks were okay. What I liked about them were, I feel like I would want to wear it, even though it wasn't like super elevated. But yeah, I agree. I don't know. Every time like Ross or everyone would say, "You're so funny," I'd be like, "No, how? How?" Even during the roast, I wasn't laughing.
Really?
I found,
She was my favorite in the roast.
I don't know. No. But she looked good in the roast though.
She did. The best that she looked.
Yeah.
this season.
So
Stir the pot. So that's always makes for good TV. And it's a reality show. So yun na lang.
Yeah.
I'll give her that. Like,
Yeah, I think that's why they kept her because she made good, TV.
good for her.
What else
It's like-
would when she did?
I agree with Luisa na she doesn't deserve her. Not naman that she doesn't deserve the top 4 position, but like in the last competitive episode when they all performed to I forgot the name of that song. But yeah, but what like ang laki ng agwat talent-wise of what Gottmik, Rosé, and Simone presented as opposed to what Candy presented doesn't mean that her verse was not good. It's just there was a huge gap in talent. I would actually have preferred if Candy just went home when Simone sent her home and then she came back for All Stars like with a vengeance. I feel like that would have been a more satisfying arc for her character.
Yeah.
But with that said, I want to address the elephant in the room. I feel like she gets so much hate in the fandom, unwarranted hate. If you go to the hashtag Team Candy on the Drag Race Twitter account, it's all fans saying, "Oh, she doesn't deserve to be there. She's a ugly pig."
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
Yeah, and it's so gross, and it makes me think na if Candy wasn't a plus size person of color, would the comments be as vile as what she's getting now? It's sad, and like And I honestly feel like I'm glad that she stayed, even if she doesn't deserve it, because she brought so much drama to the show. Like we all, every time that it's RuPaul's best friends race, we complain because it's boring. There's nothing, but Candy always stirred the pot, and for that, I'm thankful for her.
That's true naman. Yeah, there wasn't anyone else aside from Candy that really brought that type of like drama that was needed. But yeah, I mean, parang I don't know. It's just sad nga na people are hating on her, like giving death threats pa yata at some point, no?
Her mom.
Oh,
Yeah, parang I think she tweeted about it. So, no, guys.
At the end of the day, it's just a reality
They're crazy.
competition. And yeah,
you see, this is what I wanted to see in the reunion. The queens discussing this,
Yeah.
but then we got
Plan to address.
we got a recap.
yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Even yung the hate
It was so
Olivia
long.
got for winning the lip sync. Alam ko si Olivia then also got a lot of hate for the Denali robbery. Parang sana they discussed that. Yeah.
I honestly feel that the Drag Race fandom is one of the most toxic ones in the world. We saw it when in season 9 when Valentina got eliminated. People were sending hate to Alexis Michelle. And which is funny because Alexis Michelle wasn't even in the bottom
Yeah. I think Nina also.
Yeah.
Nina, tama ba?
for sending Valentina home.
Yeah.
I was like, Tina West? Iba pala.
About Nina Brown.
And the comments Nina got were so bad, like the N-word and you don't deserve to be here. It's super toxic. And the show should address it at some point.
Yeah, like they did in season 9. So I hope they I really wanted sana na they had that. Oh well.
Okay, next, I guess let's head on to the last 3 queens in the top 4. What are your fave things about Gottmik, Rosé, Simone?
Where to start?
Let's start with Rosé, I guess. And well, Rosé is there to kind of like avenge Jan's loss from last season, and also like prove herself, of course. I'm just happy that she got to like show off her talent by the latter half, because the first half, parang I was kind of like, I wish there was more to Rosé than what she was showing.
I love Rosé because of Denali.
Rosé?
So,
Yeah,
so I ship them so hard.
Rose, ano yung ano nila?
Rosenali.
Personally.
So, ano yung tawag? Yung sa math, like by connection, I don't know what you call it. I would love by ASCON majors, we don't know.
I know the term, but as
By association, I don't know.
by association.
Yeah. So yeah, I like her. I mean, the perfectionist critique, it's fine. Like, but I mean, she did well, like in the branding challenge. In the challenge, good. So I love Rose. So if
Actually,
she
with
wins, I'm at
the
peace.
3 of them, I'm at peace with whoever wins. Although I'm rooting for my girl, who I'll talk about later. But I feel like she has a lot in similarity with Simone, in that they're both cool professionals. They only differ in the sense that Simone kind of leaned into the whole using drag in self-actualization aspect, which Ru looks for every time. But Rosé was really all about the work, and she delivered every time. She was consistent. My only critique with Rose is, at least in the early parts of her runways, they look a bit costumey instead of fashion. They kind of,
Yeah, yung mga Tool. Yeah. Was that Tool?
yeah,
The blue one.
yeah,
Yeah,
and the one,
Rose's fashion is
yeah,
and there needs to be improvement. But
kind of,
sorry,
they
go ahead.
they kind of look like fashion drawings by a 12-year-old. um, it doesn't look. I don't know what it is. It's probably like the fabric choices and the construction mismo. But they always look like costumes on her, as
Yeah.
compared to like.
Which
I hate how I'm comparing.
sense because she had a so baka nasanay siya na like, oh, it has to be like a show on
Yeah,
theater. Ganun.
Maybe
Till much
theatrical.
later when she decided to relax a bit.
but she had so many great moments throughout the
Yeah.
show's run. Like her Mary
Mary's Queen of Scots from Rose was so good.
Oh, back.
Yeah.
and her
And they actually
her soda.
but then I
the
guess okay lang din.
Yeah. She's a professional. Like you just know that she'll give her like 100%. She'll be
And
there
her-
on time.
yeah.
And her
Watch that
content
channel.
on Instagram, like of her runway looks, they're so good. Like her shots are so amazing. I love it.
And can I just say, I love how someone posted a compilation on Twitter. I love how in every lip sync you can see Rose in the background dancing like a dad.
Yeah. She's just having the best time of her life there. I love it.
And like that's my gripe with the show's narrative with Rose. That they're trying to make her look like this personality-less professional. But look at her, like in those moments, her personality really shines through. She's such a dork. And I
Maybe
wish
they
na
couldn't find like a spot for that narrative in this season for her.
true.
And he's pretty cute too, like
Yeah, he's kind of straight.
he is. Like out of drag. Okay. I love
Out
it.
of everyone.
Pretty good looking. Denali's also good looking.
Yeah.
So
Rose Nally for life.
I love him.
Okay, next we have Got Mick, which I know is one of Dana's faves from the beginning.
God. Yung mga no surprise. You
No
just know
surprise.
at
I
the
was like, I think that first episode, I was like, Dana, Got Mick.
out of drag. Actually, siya yung sobrang crush ko. Sobrang type ko siya. But yeah, as in each episode, just amazing. So I really wasn't surprised na top 4 siya.
Yeah. Got mixed like if you would graph her progress, it's like pataas. Like she just got better and better.
Yeah.
Like at first I remember her disco performance I didn't think was good at all. I think it actually like merited a bottom. Like I think she deserved to be bottom for that. But seeing her like progress and show that she's not just a look queen, she's actually really funny. She's capable of doing comedy. Like she just got better and better. Like she had such a steady like upward growth, and she never had to lip sync once. So I think
Core.
pretty impressive for
Her Paris Hilton in the Snatch Game, I think, is the perfect example of matching your drag persona to your Snatch Game character. It was so tahen. That's why she did amazing. It's honestly, for me, one of the funniest Snatch Game impressions.
Perfectly captured Paris, no?
Yeah, it's a really good, effortless performance.
Ibiza.
And I guess
The moment
fact
she
na-
the kaon, sabi ko, oh, on point. She won this.
Yeah.
and like the fact that I think na she actually worked with Paris in real life also
Yeah.
gave plus points to that.
Very fun and funny.
Like the moment she came out, she started her impression with her regular voice, and then she shifted to Paris' voice. So it's like, okay, she's winning, she's winning.
Yeah, that was smart.
This is it. And out of all of them, I feel like Gottmik's the one who just enjoyed the
The
whole
most true.
Which honestly, I'm surprised. Like, I don't know, my first impression of her was because she's worked with so many people, like celebrities. So I thought, like, my first impression of her was like, oh, she's too good for Drag Race. So when she was mentioning that she just wants to stay there and like wait for the next queens, I was surprised and happy that she enjoyed her Drag Race experience.
Yeah.
So she just grew so much this season. And, you know, she was so funny. Like, her Snatch Game was really good. And I don't know, like, if she wins,
favorite talaga.
I'll be at peace with it too.
Early favorite. Sila ni Simone. Really good. Both really good in their own ways. So hard to choose.
And I
What
love
I
how
like about Gottmik na is that she really proved herself na she's not just that look queen, and she, in all the challenges that she said she didn't think she could make it, she actually proved herself and proved her versatility. And Jeremiah was saying something.
and like I love what she's done for. She's such a great, great first trans queen to join the competition. I mean, trans male king to join the competition, and I feel like a queen like her of her talent can really break down that barrier in the Drag Race show. But also, she didn't make her narrative about her being a trans queen. It was so much more than
Not at
that.
all.
It was really about a queen finding out that she was more than what she thought she was, and she got to realize her strengths. And it was really nice to see. I'd honestly be happy with Gottmik taking the crown.
And yeah, finally we head to Simone. Simone.
Jeremiah's so excited.
Yan, si Jeremiah will be the leader of the Simone club.
Okay, where do I even begin? With
Let me check my notes.
This long list.
The very first time she stepped out into the workroom wearing that dress with Polaroids and with that confidence, she was glowing all throughout. I was like, I fell in love because like she just had star quality, and she still does. I told friends in the early days of the show, she reminds me so much of a young RuPaul.
Yeah. I think
With-
Ru also knows
Sees that.
parang feels that way. I mean, just the vibe and parang everything about her confidence, her style, her
Yeah.
everything is very early RuPaul.
And I think like walking in, she had one of the most distinct personas out of all the queens there, which is why I love her so much. She was this unflappable queen who really repped Black culture and showed what Black excellence could be. Like her wigs, she had wigs with cornrows and all these styles na you never really saw in other drag queens. And they had to do runway. Which
Honestly, never a bad look from her. Like, ever.
never a bad look.
Ever. As in, every single one was so good. And I really like that, that Polaroid dress.
Yeah.
God, everything talaga.
And
Even the promo look.
her hair.
Yeah, grabe.
And
Favorite.
even in the rose, where admittedly she didn't do well, she looked so good.
Yeah.
So good.
She looked like an Oscar statue.
Yeah. Like, she may not be the perfect, as in parang every challenge, super galing. But you can't doubt her looks talaga and her confidence.
And
The best.
As I said a while ago, and I was actually talking to Therese about this, Simone was the one who really took on the whole theme of Drag Race in Drag Race na you use drag to learn more about yourself and in self-actualization, etc., etc., which a lot of people make fun of when how Ru starts becoming super new age. But Simone smartly, whether it was real or not, we'll never know, but she smartly went along with Ru's guru stuff. And like when she made me cry in the when she was talking about what she would tell young Reggie because it was a really good speech. And I feel like out of the top four, she was the one who really used drag to learn more about herself. And yeah, for that reason and for so many others, she is my winner for this seasons.
Team, I am Team Simone. But yeah, as I said, like if Gottmik Rose won, I wouldn't mind. Like I'd be at peace with it. I don't know, like I said earlier, she's just so effortless. Like I think some people are saying that she's one note, but I don't know, like she just does everything so
see that.
well. Like she's so fun. I mean, sometimes I just say everybody got a sweet tooth, but because her branding challenge was so good, and you can see that the judges really love her. Like Carson was saying, whatever she says, like I'm gonna buy it, and I'm like, same. And I don't know, like agree. Like in the last episode, even that in the confessional when she was saying, I love me, I was like, you deserve to love yourself. And I don't know what these House of Avalon people are eating because they're all so good. Like, I mean, I have to admit, I had expectations for Simone because of Gigi. Like, Gigi did really well last season, but she just went above and beyond that. And she, like, completely different lang talaga eh. And she just did so well. So, and the star quality talaga. Like, even her 69 questions during the Reunited episode, I was like, para talaga siyang celebrity na
She already is.
yeah, she's so professional. And she seems like a really nice person.
Yeah.
So
And she has a message to bring,
yeah.
like that outfit with the say their names on it. Parang she recognizes that drag is the platform and drag race is the platform to bring her messages out there.
I don't remember where I heard it from, but the statement is Simone is such a black drag queen. I mean, in the sense that parang her entire personality is about her culture, which is not a bad thing. It's actually really great na she's proud of who she is and she uses nga that platform to not just be proud but to also like talk about issues that actually affect people that actually matter.
Especially in America right now, na it's still an ongoing struggle for the black community, even after George Floyd, right? So that means a lot, for sure, for the black community.
And I remember when she stepped out in the white gown, she was safe. But Ru took the time out to like single her out and thank her for that look.
Yeah.
And come to think of it now, like every single one of her looks had something to do with repping black excellence. And she stepped out looking amazing at every turn.
Truly.
And parang the character and the like sassiness of the Ebony Enchantress was just really like alluring every single time.
And she's so shiny, like literally.
And that's in the body oil lang raw.
Yeah. Needs a sponsorship for like
good for her.
Johnson and Johnson, please.
Okay, but before we declare who our winners are, let's go and proceed to our season 13 fashion review, where I took some looks and we will decide if these looks are a slay or a wale. It's my favorite thing every time we do these Drag Race episodes. Let me just share the looks. So yeah, I just took some categories of this season, and let's go ahead and choose. Okay, let's begin. The first category is Lamay You Stay. Let's start with Tina Burner. This is her Tin Man look.
This is an okay for me. It's one of the non-offensive Tina Burner looks.
Because it's
Like
not
there's
red.
slay, wale, and okay.
So,
Or
This is a K.
Yeah, because she's not in red, orange, or yellow.
red, but not so much. You know?
Look,
Like this.
Okay.
it fits her. It fits the theme, and
Yeah.
it's a garment that's on her body, and I do not hate it.
Yeah,
If
it's
I
okay.
had to choose slay or wale, though, I'd say slay. Like, it's okay. It wasn't a wale.
Yeah.
it's a
But-
nice outfit.
But also seeing Ellie Diamond's Wizard of Oz look in
Yeah.
Drag Race UK season 2, that this kind of like pales in comparison to that.
For sure.
And to think that this look actually has more polish than Ellie Diamond's, but Ellie's had a story.
Yeah.
Hi.
I guess the bottom line is they just know that Ru really likes the Wizard of Oz.
True.
Next, we have Simone Simoni.
Slay.
Slay.
Like,
I feel like all of her outfits we will be saying slay. So as a precaution.
Floyd Mayweather shaking.
ano na to, front row endorsement.
Oh,
Billboard.
front row baka.
And like I think even her wand in her head was rhinestone studded. It's like it's the detail.
Wow, truly
Yeah.
excellent.
And it's such a
Okay,
unique it's such a unique take on Lame. When you think of Lame, you think glamour, like what we'll see later on, kay Tamisha. That's what you think when you think Lame. But then
Uh-huh.
Simone's take was so unique. I love that.
Okay, next we have Got Mick.
Slay.
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 This alien look was really like out of this world.
She looks like she's in a perfume commercial.
He is the perfume. Ano? Lalagyan.
Next, we have Olivia Lux. This
Wale.
Sorry.
It's not a wale for me, but it's also not a slay. It's like
It's
a
not-
this.
I really didn't like it.
Parang,
mother of the bride na. No? Sige, fine. That's a wale.
Like
Para
the
siyang- dress na nabili mo sa Divisoria. Ganun.
like the color,
I'm
the
sorry.
cut. I didn't like it.
It's also really aging.
Yeah.
It didn't look flattering on
Oh,
her.
nga, mother of the bride.
and compared to the others, not just the one in this slide, but the others.
Yeah.
And last, we have Lala Ree. This is so
Slay.
opulent. It's a slay.
Slay.
Very.
And she thought it's lame and not lame.
I mean, this is what she thought lame was. Well,
Yeah.
I would
that's
like
what
to
you-
see what excellent is like if this is lame.
It was so... I love Lalaurie and I really hope they cast her for All Stars. But
Yeah.
this is opulence. She owns everything.
Okay, next category, we have Trains for Days.
Ooh.
Simone Simoni.
Slay.
Slay.
Very.
I think this is my favorite Simone look in the whole competition.
Grabe. Like, another Black Excellence outfit from Simone.
I can't stop staring at it. It's
The
so good.
character here is just
Yeah,
like
very
really
beautiful.
exuding of confidence
Yeah.
and like black power.
And like, can I just say the way that Simone walks on the runway? I think she has the best runway walk out of all of them. It's so confident and so... And like, using the durag as the train, her mind. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Candy Muse. Wale.
Well, it's okay. I didn't like her makeup. But the gown is okay. Like,
Pero
Wow.
parang walang train though.
True, that's the train na.
true.
And the slit is so weird. It's so Wale for me.
Again, compared to the others who did the trail theme. This is
Very siya, Chanel versus Candy's Walmart.
Next we have Denali.
Slay.
Slay.
She really ate this one up.
True.
This was 100% pure love.
The best lip sync of the season.
She did
I
a
really
lip
wanted
sync as well.
to see Denali lip sync more just because of that one lip sync, but like
Yeah.
we kind of got the back. We kind of that kind of like backfired against us in that lip sync.
Yeah.
And the video she makes at like recreating her lip syncs and like
Yeah.
now, they're so good.
Iconic.
The If You Seek Amy one's my favorite. I love it.
And last we have Tina Brenner.
Wale.
Wale.
It's so bad.
I can remember it.
Like make it make sense. Bakit may tools sa arms niya?
Yeah.
Smoke joke.
It was the idea behind this season.
I get the whole train conductor thing, but it's executed.
Oh,
She had She had rails.
Who let her bring this onto
She
the
looked like a
not
clown.
her friend?
At least it's not. At least it's blue. I'll give her that.
engine, pero train conductor.
No.
Okay. We have the ball extravaganza. We have Utica.
Slay.
Slay.
Another really good outfit.
And can you
One of
believe
the more
it?
memorable ones in the entire show for me.
And she was able to make this in a day. How?
I can't imagine.
This is
how
like designer level.
True. Ang ganda nga ng construction eh.
Yeah.
How do you look at it as a pile of sleeping bags?
Yeah. How?
and you can make an entire collection out of this, I feel. And I feel like it would be very comfortable if in a cold set.
Yeah, winter coat.
Imagine, parang nasa malamig ka lang na kwarto tapos yun yung suot mo. Parang ang sarap matulog.
Noted.
Or even just to the movies, you know, kasi wala naman tayong winter.
The movies.
Or like pang camping. Oh, that's your patul.
Sleeping
bag mo na yan.
Tapos di ka rin lalamukin. So for that, it's a slay.
Indeed. Next, we have Rose. I like this.
I liked it. It's a slay for me.
It was fun. Like,
I'm sorry, it's so wale for me. I don't like it.
I respect your opinion.
But she sold it. She sold
Yeah.
it when she was walking down the runway.
I like yung umiikot kasi siya. That
Yeah.
was a really
Yeah.
good
That was really
I feel
Next, go ahead.
the hair was
yeah, the hair is off. I feel like a ponytail, like what Joey J is wearing, would have worked better. It would have made it look more 60s robot.
I like the hair here though. Very, parang trying to be experimental. Pero mukha din siyang makeup brush. So, or yung mga
Actually.
sample ng hair sa, yung
Yeah.
color ka ng
Yung sa booklet.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have the iconic Lala Ree.
Slay!
Okay.
Honestly, it wasn't that bad.
So, the intention is nice. Pero kulang pa ng items ng fabric.
Slay.
Really?
Again, it's one of the worst garments we've seen on a ball challenge for Drag Race. With that said, it's a slay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Like, it makes no sense. Like, you realize she stood in line, like, with everyone else. Like, She, like, everyone else saw this. No one thought to like bring it up or tell her as she was concerned. It's not even a garment. It's like it's. I watched the pit stop with Violet, and she said it's not even. Where's the production? It's not clothes. It's not a dress. It's not anything. That's why it's so. I don't understand it. But yeah, so that
not open the bag, it would be better. But I see what she's trying to do kasi. But if she really cut it open, kasha siya. It would
Yeah, I'm
It would have
sure.
at least looked like Candy's pockets look. Alam mo yun? Like,
yeah. Pero parang yung mga very constructed, like, mga tops, very, very, I don't know, like geometric, whatever.
This kind of reminds me of what Vanjie's look with the Barbie dolls looked like. Na it was a circle with legs and arms, no shape whatsoever.
The hair though and the face, very nice.
True.
But she wore it well.
Yeah, with confidence and pride.
Diba?
Yeah,
Which is
I
Gotta
would
give
buy
it to
a
her.
Funko Pop of this look.
And like
Because of how iconic it
this look will always give us Nicole Byers' face reacting to it. Parang the reaction, gif of the season.
And last, we have Joey J. This is okay. Not
Okay.
entirely bad. I just think she got a lot of bad criticism for this though, which I don't really completely get.
It's so late for me, but just because of the proportions, they're so off. Again, parang wala siyang shape, and the hem is so high na it makes her look like a baby almost.
Yeah, it's also the neck thing. Parang
Yeah.
your neck.
yeah.
With the ponytail rin in combination.
But then the hair is nice. Very beautiful hair.
My one issue rin pala with Joey J is like in every runway, her makeup is always so strong. It doesn't look. I don't want to say naman na it's unblended, but it's always so like, ugh, like it's out to get you or fight with you. Like naman her brows are so like outlined. As compared to
that
like,
makes
if you look at Rose or even Lolari, it's so blended and it's so like the makeup works with their faces. But with Joey J, it's also theatrical and like, ugh.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I would agree to that. Okay, next we have Little Black Dress. Let's start with Simone. Slay.
Hey.
I shouldn't have added her because I knew
We can move on. It's all slay.
we have got Mick.
Slay.
Yeah.
This one for me is okay. Like I like the idea, but it was like okay.
For me, it's very unsafe in the way that I thought might eliminate siya or something because of this. Kasi it's very out of the box in a way.
It's very
Yeah.
young.
I like the concept, but I don't know, parang for me to just
The face though, grabe.
But only got Mick can pull this off.
Yeah.
Also.
Yes,
It's
agree.
very got next.
Okay, now we have Rose. This is a wale for me.
Wale.
She looks like she looks like a duster, a dusting
It looks
glove.
like a sponge.
Mukha siyang yung pillow, yung sofa pillow.
Ang lola na through
Oo, may
pillow.
frills. Yun yung pillowcase.
Yeah, I just
And it's
don't
so
know.
shapeless.
She just didn't have a lot of good looks in the first few episodes, I would say.
Yeah.
And lastly, we have Utica.
This is
I love this. Slay.
I love this
It's a
one.
slay for me.
It's so weird and it's so Utica.
But I love the concept.
Yeah.
The photo she posted on Instagram for this look. Very nice. It looks better though in the photo than it does
I didn't get it until she explained she was supposed to be her earring. That's when I was like, that's cute.
And I feel like if you're a judge, it's hard to see
Yeah.
like what's happening.
she wanted to be like a doll. And then parang just brought up that the earrings are also her. It would be a better spin. Kasi you really can't see the earrings from
Yeah, I didn't get it at all
With
first.
their social
That's true.
distancing pa, they couldn't like look at it.
But even
How
without the earring concept, it's a pretty good look. Like not bad.
parang partner ng Tin Man. But
This
Yeah.
is
The gold girl.
Golden Girl. Ganon.
Yes. Okay, next we have Beast Couture.
Play.
haha.
As Mike was out.
Oh, can I just say, like, prefacing this category, I hated how most of them approached this week's runway. It was so cast of cats. Most of them, ha. But then, like, it didn't remind me of drag. They look like
Costume.
mga mascots in a children's birthday party.
Monsters Inc.
Would love to have Simone as a mascot at a party too.
Yeah, same.
It's
I'd
awesome.
hire her.
Hindi siya pang children's birthday party. That's like pang bachelorette.
Yeah, so Candy obviously a wale. I don't know what she was trying
Makes
to do
no
here.
sense.
What are you carrying, girl?
Yeah, why does she have her friend drape?
The friend.
This is the octopus and Monsters Inc. Yung part 3 was
Lol, yung yung may snakes.
yeah.
And her makeup's not nice.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, it's just like a pass.
Mukha siyang
Like, how could
filter in Instagram.
how could she survive this like competition wearing these types of looks?
And she's top 4.
Exactly. We also have Olivia Lux as Sully if if
Okay for me.
Yeah, it's okay.
Fine.
I'm just
Predictable.
I'll give her a slay because it's not as bad as the other one.
Lol.
Like, you know, there's still shape and I like her makeup.
okay, next we have Tina Burner. It's a slave.
Slay.
I like it,
I
Slay.
love it.
Not home in
Okay
this,
with
but
it.
It's wale for me, but you guys go first.
For me, it's just like a nice Five Nights at Freddy look. Really fun.
It's, again, children's birthday party. She looks like she's in weird preschool level TV show where they're supposed to teach you about the joys of cutting. It's so,
This is
yeah.
fun for me. I like it. I like the colors and I like how it was made. I get the parang very costumey thing. But for me, this is one of the more diverse Tina Burner looks. Which I
Yeah,
enjoyed.
which she should have put out earlier on for sure.
And it looks
Yeah.
very comfortable.
Yeah.
Like when she
Parang
slid
siyang ano.
during the lip sync, I was like, that looks like fun.
Tama nga si Jeremiah, Christmas at children's party. The mascot dancing my humps at your kid's party. And of course, it's a slay for Simone for everyone.
You know, honestly, this is like a small capital slay. Only because I really hated this category. They all came out kasi in the same thing. It's a very Simone take.
And only she could pull this
Yeah.
off.
A ratchet fox.
Okay. And last we have drag. I think this is the drag excellence or what?
It's the Hot Pocket.
Hot Pockets. We have got mix.
Slay.
Her reference was really funny. Her kids from
Hercules.
like the guy opening up the sundial.
And when she was
Very
talking about it, she sounded like she was having so much fun explaining it. She was just laughing. So yeah, I like this.
It's one of my favorite Gottmik looks. Just because it's so
Yeah,
witty.
Yeah, Gottmik was really good. This is a slay for me. Nikki, you wanted to say something?
The dress itself is super nice. I think it's made out of watches also. Right?
That must have been really heavy, no?
Mm.
Next, we have the Pabitin look by Candy News.
I love
Well,
Vice Ganda.
It's
Alam mo,
actually
sayang,
not bad.
it would have been better. Kasi
If it
parang,
was tailored better, it
Yeah.
could have somehow worked if it was
You
made.
know, honestly, if she took out the whole sweater aspect of
Yeah.
the the collar, and she just went with the pabitin part of the dress, it would have worked with another set of wigs.
oh, sayang.
Yeah, I didn't like the wig. I didn't
I
like
like the look.
Alam mo yun.
I like the look, but it could have been edited, and then it would actually look better on another person,
Mm.
in my opinion. Because it's a look, but not like this.
Not for her.
She looks like a clown at the end of it.
It's very like
Sorry, you're on mute, Nikki.
oh sorry, I was saying it's very avant-garde. The idea, it would have worked that way.
But
If the
just not
col-
for Candy.
And also, if the colors weren't so sakit sa mata,
It's very Harajuku to me. Like, I think it could have really been done better.
I
Like
think
someone
Luisa would look great like this.
Yeah. I want to see that.
Hand it over, Candy News.
Like we have a Rose
This is cute.
Slay. I really love this.
play, yeah.
this is like a small capital slay. I have quibbles, but it's very rosé.
It's retro.
I wish the wig was more retro and styled more.
Yeah, I wish it was
Baka-
bigger.
Yeah, and or like if she had like a
Yung the
flip,
ganon.
Like ginormous.
or she had like a flip do na it curled at the end, so you really got the retro vibe. And also if she wore like white go-go boots instead
Yeah,
of
like shiny. Like
yeah,
shiny.
patent leather.
Yeah. Agree.
But I'm a sucker for anything like 60s, so I really like this one. I love it.
And lastly, we have Simone. Simone.
Slay. It's a slay.
Although I didn't like her wig that much here,
Fair.
but I like the outfit for sure. I mean, concept. But I don't know, like the hair.
It's not
I
my
just
favorite
didn't-
Simone.
Yeah. But it's still a slay for me. But the hair for me was like,
You knew the
okay.
assignment as usual.
Yeah, she understood.
Yeah. And at the end of the whole thing, I just was hungry for Hot Pockets. Can I just...
Now I want some.
And that's it for our fashion photo review for season 13. So before we end this episode, let's go around and ask who is your winner for season 13 as we head into the finale. Let's start with myself. I will go for. I'm really torn between Team Simone and Team Gottmik because I know that Gottmik has that new drag and representation like points for going for her to be a winner for this season, and the fact that she was so versatile the whole time and she showed that she's just not a fashion or a look queen and showed that she can do comedy and all that makes her a winner for me. And Simone, we mentioned earlier, I kind of got more convinced on the Simone side after this episode. So yeah, I can't choose between both of them, but I would be happy with any of the two. And I do love Rose, but I don't think she has it in the bag this time around for her.
Same. I'm a super team Simone. Like from the start pa lang. I really feel like she she has a lot to bring if she were to win the competition. She's honestly one of the most exciting drag queens I've rooted for in quite some time. And the talent, and she has everything: charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. It's all there. And I honestly feel like she's just right for the crown.
Next.
Me, for me, it's a tie between Simone and Gottmik. I've been saying it since the beginning, as in from the promos.
Yeah, I
There's
remember.
Oh my God. Oh nga, no?
Pero now, like, there's so much more reason to say it. I mean, because they're both really good. But then yun nga, they also show two very different versions of the future of drag. But I feel like parang the more possible winner would be. But those are my top two.
Okay, I'll go. I was trying to feel it out, but okay, I'll go. For me, as much as I really stand Mick for the whole season, parang tayo din siya for me. Like, it's so hard and it's just Simone. She grew and I feel like it was something different every time while also getting the assignment every time. One with it, with 13 seasons of Drag Race US and All Stars, I feel like sobrang seryoso na parang, oh, this is, a show and I'm gonna win and whatever. We forget that, oh, you can have fun with it pala. And we saw that with Gottmik and we had fun while just watching her slay it. So whoever wins among the two of them, I'm happy. I'll be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, same. Same. As long as it's not any of the three, as long as it's not Candy, I'd be happy if it went to Rosé as well. But I think
They are not really for me.
But yeah, I think realistically, it's gonna go to either Simone or Gottmik. Like, I think we just know that. Like, that's a known fact. It's one of the two, if not both. One of the two. But it's a pretty, Candy aside, it's a pretty good top four. Like, they all deserve. Sorry, Candy. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
For me, I'm Team Simone. I just really love her. But I feel like Gottmik's gonna win just because she stands for so many things and she just changed the game. But I was also telling Nikki earlier, like, I feel like Ru is just gonna pull a wild card and make Rosé the winner. Or I was also saying, when I was watching the reunion episode, I had this feeling that it's gonna be both of them, Simone and Gottmik. Like, we're gonna have like two winners. But yeah, if you're gonna ask me what team I'm on, I'm Team Simone. But I feel like Gottmik's gonna win.
Okay, and that makes us all Team Simone and Team Gottmik at the end.
Same. We just rewarded. Everyone just rewarded. Same thing.
I mean, I guess as we watched it, we all have the same sentiments naman din. So it kind of makes sense as we watch together. But yeah, that puts an end to our Drag Race Season 13 extravaganza, the longest season ever. And of course, but before we end the show, we have our pop stop or our pop culture recommendations for the week. I will go and start with mine. I just want to recommend the album by Shiny, Don't Call Me / Atlantis, the repackaged version. Just really good K-pop and proves that Shiny is still in the game. And the photos they have are just really good. And I wasn't even like a big Shiny fan when I started K-pop, but this comeback made me like appreciate them more. And It's really good music just to listen to. So yeah, that's for me this week. Jeremiah.
Okay. Okay, I'll recommend the book. I've been reading with my book club, Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste now, and it's one of those books that really draws you in, and I love how she writes. She just she gets into the minds of each of her characters so well, and she explains their thought processes, why they do what they do, really well. And if you've been looking for a book that will get you back into the love of reading, I recommend Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Now.
Do I go next?
Books, yeah, go ahead, Therese.
Okay, I won't recommend the book. I don't. This isn't. It's pop culture, but it's pretty old. I've been watching Will and Grace lately. Yeah. I don't know, but I just wanted like a feel good show, and it's so funny. Like I'm surprised at how much I like it. It's really funny, and honestly, like it's so ahead of its time. Parang I can't believe they were talking about these things like early 2000s. But yeah, watch it. I'm not done with it. I like season 4, but it's really like I literally laugh out loud in so many parts.
I love what's her name, si Karen, so
Karen,
much. My
I love her.
favorite.
I love all of them except Grace. But
Yeah,
but it's a really good show. So yeah, Will and Grace.
Yeah, I'm in like season 1 pa lang. I've seen a few episodes, but it's like Friends for like queer people. I would.
It's really good.
Yeah. Okay. Next, Nikki.
Okay. The one thing that I super want to recommend is About to Eat on YouTube. It's by the same food people from BuzzFeed. But then I think the videos, for me personally, I find them a little better and they look better and the content's better. And the team's just really fun. It's sila Andrew from Worth It and all the very cookie people, very fun. And like I thought I'd be over BuzzFeed by now because there's a lot of food YouTube channels now. But then these are really good people with just very fun videos to watch. Very quiet but also straight to the point. And the food's really good. Also a lot of Asians on the team. It's like mostly Asians, so it's nice.
I can go next. I will recommend an anime because a lot of people have been getting into it since Attack on Titan. I think so many people have been watching it. It's been recently, like it recently just got added on Netflix. It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's not yet done, but it's like the recent season. It's on Netflix, and I don't know how to explain the beast that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's very strange, but there's just something that makes you want to watch it. Like it's just so compelling. It follows. I'll do a very quick synopsis. It follows the generations of the Joestar family. So each season you have a different main character. It starts in like the 30s, and then it goes like the great 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 grandfather following the next, like the grandson, da 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 da. Like that's the story, and they all have special powers. The reason why it's called JoJo, like all of their names, you can nickname it to Jojo. So Jonathan Joestar, Jotaro Kujo, like that. If you want something that's light and kind of weird, but just to pass the time, I highly recommend it. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah.
So I shall also recommend an anime, and I think we talked about it last week. If you also want something very light and new on Netflix, it's called The Way of the House Husband. It's the anime that got my dad to watch anime because it's a mix of food and just kagaguhan. You know, he's the long and short of it is he's an ex Yakuza guy who decided to be a house husband. So he's just living his life while his wife is working and he's cooking. He is doing the groceries, taking care of the cat, and it's just snippets of his life. It's funny lang. Super light. Nothing deep at all. If you just watched something like Attack on Titan and need something light, you can watch this. Ayun.
Agree. Super nakakagutom siya. Like, the food that he makes. Like, wow, I wanna eat. And that's something about a lot of anime, I would say. Parang, you just wanna eat Japanese food. Especially at this time na we can't have access to like the best Japanese food because it's all takeout, I guess. So yeah, it's a fun thing. But I think there's also a live action adaptation to that, right?
I'm excited because it'll be real food na. So,
Meron na siya on Netflix.
I want
Yeah.
Netflix here, or is it your ano?
It's also here. Nauna siya sa I think it was first before the anime, which a lot of people are also complaining about because they're saying it's not really animation but more like a PowerPoint presentation. But apparently it was the author's request to make it like that, so we can't go against that, I guess.
Yeah, parang it was to focus more on the voice acting quality. Which I kind of see, like, wanted it to be a voice stage play. It makes sense. Yeah. But it's just fun.
Yeah, I just want Japanese food. Just that's it. Gutom lagi.
Same.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for our episode this week. Thank you so much to everyone for joining me.
Thank you, Cholo.
Thanks, Cholo.
And of course, our episodes of Popcorn can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you stream your podcasts. And of course, we're here on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM every week. Thanks to the RK fam. You can go follow us on social media. That's at Popcorn with Cholo, at Popcorn W Cholo. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.